from far away. Because you're kind of dependent on running into fights until you get dagger.
But once you get to level 2, like Slark lane is just unplayable. You hit creeps, then you stun him, then follow up with another stun, telekinesis. I'm not sure if they played, but I love Slaughter as a counter to Slark, at least in the laning stage.
The lane is good.
What else is there?
Axe.
Apparently.
That doesn't seem too exciting.
Well, it is pretty exciting. I love this hero.
Okay, you do.
I absolutely love the hero.
You like Stoneface then.
I'm not saying it's fantastic in this patch or in this game. I just love Axe.
Oh, okay.
I love the hero. About this...
I mean, he's going to have same issues as we discussed about the Slardar in the laning stage.
It's a hard lane for Slark if Axe has good backup. And he will be laning with Rubik. So they're just going to push the wave into the Slark. And if it's a Slark CM lane, that's not that good against this matchup. So.
I love the Axe as response to Slark. I talked about any kind of control, and this is the control that he can't get out of.
All right. This is the first time I have seen Monkey King.
I think it's the first time this tournament, yeah. I believe so.
Yeah.
And we talked about getting Ergon comfortable. He plays a really good Monkey King. I'm pretty sure he will be playing this.
So there's 3 melee cores on Geek Fam, and you have Monkey King and Slark. So much that they can have 2 lanes won just by having these two pretty much anywhere after this 10th pick.
Well,
I like this Monkey King pick a lot. I like, if I had to just pick based on the draft, I think
I'd go left.
Team Spirit's draft is really good this game.
Well, and I was thinking that for Team Spirit, this gives them that opportunity to be able to maybe play from ahead, right? To be able to get that first little bit of victory in the game. Say, okay, we got the laning stage. Now let's turn that into winning the mid game, right?
Yep.
And as opposed to falling behind, or staying even. Get that confidence back, like you said. Say, you know what, that was a bad game. We're going to pretend that never happened. Yeah. Let's get this one, and let's stay alive.
And all their abilities pretty much are lower cooldown. Even if there's no Echo Slam, no Global Sounds, they can still keep fighting with these 3 cores. I'm kind of digging Team Spirit's draft way more.
I think if the drafts were reversed, I would say Geek Fam's got this 100%.
There would be no question.
The thing that's got me a bit uncertain is that I think Geek Fam is the better team, so they can win with an inferior draft. But this is the only time this tournament, or the biggest time this tournament, that Team Spirit has outdrafted their opponent. I think.
Only time
against NIP when they. I don't know if it was an outdraft when they beat NIP.
Yeah, they had Necro, Spectre. I wouldn't call that an outdraft.
To be fair, I only saw the second draft.
Okay.
But this one, I like them.
Well, but it's nice to go into a game after your draft and feel good, right?
Yeah,
and
of course.
you go, okay, look, you know what? And it's not one of those like false things where you're just like, no, I can make this work. You're like, no, I feel good about this. Mm-hmm. We can get this. Let's just do it, right? But there is always this pressure in the back of your mind. If we lose, this is it. And now I'm ready to find out if they can do it. I really do think that I like Team Spirit's draft. I think they can get ahead in the laning stage, and if they do, they will win. If they don't win the laning phase, I don't think that they're going to win.
Yep.
So let's get it over to our casters for Game 2.
All right, we've got a very optimistic panel on our hands, so we're going to be seeing our first Game 3 of the day. The panel believes, our host believes. Kyle, do you believe?
No, I think the panel's totally wrong. I like Geek Fam's draft. I think they're grossly overestimating this Spirit lineup. They once again have that same issue where I look at this draft, I see nothing that's going to get more durable as the game progresses. Both Monkey King and Slark fill the same role within a team fight in that they want to sort of pincer. They want to collapse from the side as there's already an engagement underway. Nobody's going to be able to provide that vision. In addition, you have absolutely nothing against BKB with the exception of a Silencer ult and a Mag Axe and Bloodseeker that are just going to go full Divide, kill your supports, kill your Shaker, 2-0 this.
You know, I love the fact that any other talent, I would have set them up for something like that, and they would have been like, oh, you know, I think the panel makes some good points. Kyle over here, a man who's an expert at being wrong so many times, has no problem saying, no, you're wrong. This time,
I'm not afraid to take a hard stance. I just, again, it's like you have a Chen, too. That's the big X factor for Geek Fam. Yes, the laning phase for Spirit should do well, But you have a Shaker against a Seeker. That's not good for Spirit. And Monkey King, incredibly weak to Chen rotations. Sure, you're going to out-CS the mag, but one stun creep and a skewer back, and you're just dead. You're a very low armor, low HP hero.
Okay, let's start with the Shaker one, because I think that's the one part. I actually agree with you on a lot of those things. That's the one part I kind of disagree with you. You think Bloodseeker owns the Earthshaker lane?
I suppose if he goes for this WE build, then yes, it could be a lot more equalized, especially because he has a Crystal Maiden. After the change, when Shaker offlane was super popular, it's because the W scaled in mana cost 20, 30, 40, 50. Now it starts at 35. So having a CM aura behind you is very helpful to ensure you can keep spamming out that harass on the melee opponent. Yeah, we'll expect to see him. So yeah,
well, thank you,
even
Kyle. I didn't have to debate with you at all. You made my point for me. Thank you. Otherwise, no, I totally agree. I think the Axe is an interesting pickup, though.
Yeah.
I'm not totally sold on the hero, but hey, they know what their matchup is. Yeah. They're going to say, we're going to aggressively put it to this Slark as best as possible. And, well, right now, with no spins, Cuckoo not feeling good about the trade.
Again, the big thing that Geek Fam has, once again, is this BKB Piercing Disable, right?
Yep.
All 3 cores have a manner of dealing either damage or disable through spell immunity. Thus, the Monkey King specifically has to stay ahead. This has got to be a mid-1-esque MK. He's got to get a winning lane, he's got to start rotating, get a bunch of kills, because if he doesn't stay an item ahead, all of a sudden you just get ran at, and there's not a damn thing you can do.
Oh, the Silencer. He actually looks kind of good as a support against Rubik, who normally wins these fights because of Fate Bolt and being able to lower the enemy support's damage, therefore wins the trade-off. But a Silencer, just, with his Glaives of Intelligence, stealing and stealing and stealing, building up more damage, can actually win these man fights. Until maybe a Battle Hunger comes in.
Yeah, I do love the Axe as well. It's not here we see very often, but this is a Southeast Asian squad. This is Cuckoo, something KP popularized as well during his time on in SEA. It's just one of those offlaners that you pretty much play the same in a pub as you do in a pro match, and it's great for these newer, just more aggressive players, really, and that's the name of Cuckoo's game.
Well, what about our mid lane matchup? That should be good for Team Spirit, right? We've got Monkey King versus a melee core, one of the few heroes that Magnus isn't going to be able to beat with just power spamming.
Yeah, doing very well thus far, but it's still a decent matchup for Mag. You're going to go 60-40. That DD is going to help him a lot. Should be able to win this wave, no problem.
See Ergon trying to get the stacks up while Carl just focuses on finishing that CS. But you can see, Ergon, he's not going to be able to stay on toe-to-toe against a DD, even with the stacks of Jingu. And it is something that is right up Ergon's sort of playbook. He likes to be able to play those playmaking mids. Unfortunately, didn't look good last game on the Tiny. It was a bit of an off game for him, but otherwise, it's usually the playstyle Ergon.
Big thing is 0 point down bottom. The Silencer Harass, just literally using all of his mana and spamming Glaives, is securing his safe lane for Slark, one of the key heroes for Spirit. If not the key hero, really. If he gets over farmed, he could be the X Factor. I'm just always afraid, if I'm Slark, of 2 things. One is Bloodseeker, because Rupture is uncleansable and I'm stuck. And second is disables that are able to be ground targeted or Axe Call.
Right.
It also isn't cleansable. So you might get a Pact off, but you're still going to be stuck there attacking into an Axe. We'll probably have a Blade Mail at some point, and a ton of follow-up damage able to be applied on top.
Skewer RP, 2 different AoE disables, and then on top of that, there's the beautiful combination of Skewer plus Rupture.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Gross.
It's just one of those lineups. It's, again, Spirit, they have to stay ahead. It's like the guys were saying on the panel. They need to win the lanes and never lose momentum.
Nongrata doing what he can in this lane. Bloodright spam, though. That's how Bloodseekers just kind of get away with every single lane. They get level 2 Bloodright, spam it over and over, guarantee range creeps, and Nisha. You know, I bet he's probably thinking to himself, do I really care? I mean, it's first blood, of course, that sucks. But at the same time, he kind of needed to reset his mana.
Yep. I like the Orb of Venom pickup on Axe. If you get on top of the Silencer and he's not close to his tower, he will just go down.
Yeah, that's a cool choice.
Nothing you can do against Disable and the double slow. Oh, Courier.
As the heroes get low at the bottom lane. I always love the Axe Bloodseeker combination, because you know Axe lanes, they're always going to be harassing heroes enough to bring them below that 75% barrier, and that's where the thirst charges start kicking in.
Yeah, it's going to be really important. Once nighttime hits, Dubu has got to look to help out his mid player. You get 1 kill for the mag, and then all of a sudden he'll be level 6, and then the RP threat will be enough to force Aragon to play a bit more passive. As you can see so far, a bit better than I expected. Monkey King 27-14 versus 18-2, so more of like a 65 or 70% split going the way of this Radiant MK.
And Ergon making sure that Carl actually doesn't feel any love whatsoever. Is going to be forced to skewer back. Good read by him. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Misha going to die once again, as it looks like he was trying to push out a little bit and does manage to allow ILTW to secure a bounty rune with that play, but does die.
You're good at level 1 in that first couple waves, but I have played Silencer against Axe. It is unwinnable. Eventually, you're going to get caught with no boots and battle hunger, and you're just dead. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Carl doing that last little bit of happy, efficient farming in the jungle, because that mid matchup is turning to a point where he just needs to get out of lane.
And this, oh man,
that's a rough one.
Yeah.
Always got to be careful of those thirst charges. They had vision of him, so they even get the battle hunger on him, forcing him to dark pact it off. And Tepper just zaps him down, charging through the tower.
Already up 3-0 is Geek Fam. They were outlaned at first, but they have way more kill potential. And once again, a big part of that's the support disparity. You have Rubik Chen, 2 excellent rotators that get stronger as the game progresses. Silencer CM, very effective at level 1 and 2 harass, but now what? Where do you rotate to? Again, I think this mid matchup is the one we've got to try and exploit for both teams. You can see already there's a high ground ward placed by Geek Fam, so it's going to be tough for CM to wrap around.
Cuckoo, low on mana, taking a lot of harassment damage. We'll just reset. Nagata trying to make sure that Raven doesn't get some of these last hits, but sadly can't keep control of the creep wave, so that's where Immersion's going to bounce out. As you said, it's about this mid lane. Immersion making the rotation before Dubu can.
Yep. He sees the ward, he sees the CM's teleported, no reason to stay nearby. And I like this. What's the weakness of Monkey King mid? Well, you can't really harass ranged heroes too easily, so now you just plant the Rubik there. Mag can easily rotate to the jungle farm efficiently thanks to the Empower. And bottom lane, it's Axe versus Slark. You're fine with this.
Yeah, certainly.
And this is one way to deal with a rough laning phase, right? If you can abandon the laning phase sooner rather than later and just jump straight to the mid game, it's going to help your team out quite a bit. Soon you're going to see Chen look to rotate, maybe even link up with the Rubik. You can abandon one lane if needed, no problem, and just ensure you're exploiting weaknesses in 2. And yeah, Monkey King's ahead, but no innate farming mechanic, so you've got to kind of stay aggressive. You're a hero slayer. You need to, it's like a QoP. Think of Monkey King as similar in that regard, because you can win the lane, sure, but you need more than that.
He's got to keep up the pace and can afford very few deaths, otherwise he just starts losing that momentum. Immersion pulled back in and will be easily picked off by the first little pop out from Carl. He wanted to make sure that that hard camp stack was secured, so he had no problem getting a kill on Immersion to secure it.
Oh, looks like top lane Grotto is trying to think about dunking. No, doesn't have level 6.
So maybe he stole some of the experience, yes, and maybe he took some of those last hits, but probably a majority going to the Magnus and Bloodseeker.
Gonna miss the ward, unfortunately.
We just gotta wait to Ergon just gonna keep farming until he has Echo Saber, and then we're gonna see him rotate around.
I really want to see him do more.
Yeah.
I don't. This again, you're a QoP, you're a puck. Sitting mid is nice, but I want to see him get aggressive. If this is a mid one, Monkey King, he's hopping through the trees already.
Yeah.
You push this lane middle and then walk around for 20 seconds. At least then you're forcing Mag to be a little afraid. But if you're just camping mid, you're not actually affecting the enemy team's farming patterns, even though you're the top net worth in the game.
Okay, so what about this part though? Mid one, previously, yes, he would have been running around as early as 5 minutes when, first bounty runes are spawned. But we now have these 10-minute outposts. So maybe Ergon's thinking to himself, I'm gonna make myself as powerful as possible so that 10-minute rotation really comes strong.
Sure. Or he's just going to get there at 9 minutes. Already TP's bottom looking to hunt this Axe.
Okay, he's going to be able to find him. Cuckoo thinking, oh, okay, I'm going to go for this Misha kill. And Ergon, well, he ends up missing his jump forward. Cuckoo doesn't really have an out, though. Because obviously he's just going to get stunned if he tries to go for a TP away. Ergon just needs one more hit. Can Cuckoo somehow juke through the trees? Can he break their ankles? He's going to be able to get some vision, jumps on top of Cuckoo, and he's going to fall now. He tried. He bought a little time. That's
+2 or -2? What's your vote?
What?
+2 or -2?
Wait, which one do I prefer?
Yeah.
I prefer -2. I like being able to. I'm inherently I'm a 3 position and a support player. I like ruining the other person's game.
Gotcha. I think most of our viewers would agree with you.
Yes. Again, goes back to that masochism. It's the other side of the coin is the sadism.
Dota players do like pain.
9 minutes and 40 seconds. Outpost time. Where are we going to be headed right now? It doesn't look like Geek Fam. They're just going to invade the bottom half of the map, and Team Spirit are going to give it up. So, oh, broom handle for a Monkey
Yeah, I was
King?
about to say,
Yes,
he has
please.
iron poor man shields as well.
Oh, lovely.
This is so this is what I mean. You're like peak Monkey King right now.
Yeah.
Go fight.
Yes.
You have 2 free items in addition to the Wraith Band phase. Soon to have an Echo Saber. It's time to get involved here.
And if you're Geek Fam, you are probably going to abandon this safe lane. Maybe Dubu can do little shenanigans with the neutral creeps, pulling off the creep aggro off the tower or something, but...
A Midas on the Slark. Well, we discussed how they didn't necessarily buy enough farming items in the previous game. LTW, no boots straight into the Midas. And I don't mind it, because you can't really play Dota against Bloodseeker in the mid game, so why not try and get to the late game?
Dubu tries to escape, gets blocked by a Fisher, and Non-Grata having no problem. Throwing out the Echo Slam, kills the neutral creeps as well as their master in Dubu.
Radiant structures are fortified.
This is where a game gets tricky. I'm fearful for the Spirit supports, but all 3 cores having a nice time. The blink on Non-Grata is going to come out very quickly. That's going to be a huge X factor for his squad, because the initiation is going to be how you answer Geek Fam's farming patterns and aggression. They don't really have those answers because the mag is more of a core. You're not going to get a blink till second or third item.
Look at Zephyr. I love it when supports can make a read like this, saying, I can actually do a lot by playing in the trees here. He already killed the Siege Wagon wave. Non-Grata actually is going to try and cut his way through, putting Zephyr in a really awkward position. He's probably going to die now, as they have plenty of stuns to be able to throw out.
Yep. He nukes the wave first, so that we'll be able to kill off the catapult.
That's all he wanted. He wanted to be able to stall out this push. Just give his team more time to farm.
Yep. And look at the Dire side, right?
Yep.
They know that somebody on their team's dying. They don't care. 4 heroes farming in 4 different positions. That is a great usage of the space that Rubik just got for them. And yes, you're going to lose the tower. You lose 1, but it's now going to take that extra 30
lane,
seconds.
Carl. He does have the RP up, and that's silence. It's only going to last so long, so they have to back out.
Nobody wins.
Yep.
Don't challenge this Magnus, man. Double bracers. It's a hell of a drug.
Yep. And this comes back to the... Oh, hang on. Rupture? Somebody?
Yeah, that is going to be immersion. Looks like he got caught out somewhere near that mid-tier 2. Carl's just going to keep moving forward. Does manage to get the courier, but now he's on the high ground. LTW says, okay, we can take a little man fight up here on the hill. King of the hill he is. Oh, what? That was a nice shockwave. Actually, a little awkward interaction where he pushed him to the north of the Magnus, and he clipped out, but not enough to save his own life.
Yeah, so this is going to bring us to the concern with Spirit's draft, disregarding anything that these heroes can do.
Yeah.
Look at who's going to be showing.
Okay.
So look at this Radiant lineup, and I don't see anybody that actually wants to be in a lane. You want someone else in a lane, and you're camping it. Whether you're a Shaker with a Blink, a Monkey King in the trees, or a Slark running around out of vision, the problem is going to be who actually is the bait. Who's going to push these lanes? Geek Fam, you have 4 heroes that can all clear a creep wave in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
It's going to be very difficult for Spirit to make any moves because they go smoke or something, and all of a sudden all the waves will be on their towers. And Geek Fam will know what's up, they can camp a high ground. Very difficult to fight into this team in a choke point.
Well, Urgon, he's taken that laning phase lead, he's gotten it, and he is staying ahead of the Magnus, which is impressive because he doesn't have the greatest wave clear compared to a Mag, who has that empower advantage. So at least he's doing that much, and they will be able to find their first opening here. Cuckoo just barely outside of his tier 1 tower, and immediately the trap is sprung.
Yep, they had no vision there, absolutely. And once again, though, keep in mind, Spirit was showing nobody bottom.
Rotation from the 2 supports. This nice killing combo that's going to be able to catch Misha off guard. Again, Geek Fam just, you ever notice that? It's like they always read, hey, the enemy got this kill.
Yep.
And they actually run to that same area saying, oh, they're going to split up and we're going to find a pickoff.
Oh, hang on, Raven.
Oh. Okay, well, now he's going to be ruptured, but it's running right into Urgon's trap, and he's going to try and set up with his ultimate. He's going to try and chase down Dubu here with the Echo Saber. Should be easily slowed down enough, especially with that Fisher. Nicely done. And it looks like our Earthshaker was totally fine. Raven could not feel comfortable about challenging that Earthshaker since he is such a tanky hero.
Carl gets another courier too. I like the way they're playing this on Spirit. I've been concerned. Like the draft, this is a tough one to win with, but the way they've they're playing it is proper in the sense that Ergon is getting involved. He's the strongest hero on the team, and LTW went all in for his own game. He's bought a Midas, he's 0-1-1, and he has no intention of getting active until he picks up more items. This is the way you've got to play it in this scenario. And now you're going to see them smoke. Yep, you've got the blink on Shaker still. Silencer ultimate is active. It's time to rock and roll. And they know that Bloodseeker's in this bottom lane. They had a ward.
So this is just a little bit of vision that obviously doesn't see the smoked heroes, but just the idea that like no one's really showing in the jungle. They're still going to be able to find Raven here, leading off the stun from Nangrata. That is 2 times now. That ward has found a critical core kill. Throwing out the global silence just to make sure that there is no follow-up from Geek fam.
That's a poor path. You got to go through the tier 2 area. Probably still dies there, but Spirit, if you're right under his ward, it will, of course, give it away. You can see it being pinged out right now. They know that they didn't invade the jungle, though, so if they can take that out, they still should have control of their side of the map.
Oh, Fan Brace on a 2-bracer mag.
Take
You're
those.
not going to say no to that. And, well, ILTW, he found probably an equally good item in the Pupil's Gift for an agility hero.
Is there a blink? Yeah, there's the blink on Mag. They're going to have one on Axe pretty soon. In fact, I think Cuckoo might have one. And this is what I mean, like, with these neutral items, man. This Mag has, like, his Van Brace Echo blink, and it just feels like he's way stronger than he should be at 16 minutes.
For sure. It would be even better if that Nether Shawl that he found was actually useful for this game. Unfortunately, it's a fair amount of physical damage, so he may not want the -3 armor. Looking at Raven once again, but this time around, Geek fam, they're setting a bit of a trap.
You got to get that ward, folks.
Yeah,
you cannot play this area. You pinged it. You know it's there.
They lost 2 cores to that same ward, and they still haven't dewarded it. Now, these whole rotations are easily seen by Team Spirit.
It's the most frustrating thing reviewing replays as a coach or captain is when you realize, like, you lost a game just because they had vision of everything you tried to do for a little while. In the game, you have no knowledge. And in the replay, it's like, oh, well, they just saw us. Guess that's our bad.
You just have this odd feeling like something's not working out for Zephyr, who stole the tree tans, doesn't actually manage to get away fast enough, but Carl is going to be able to get the 2-man RP underneath the tower. Immersion's going to let go of the freezing field. Hopefully, they'll be able to stand and fight, and that's exactly what happens. Zergon pops his ultimate as well, and we just have this AoE of damage that nobody at Geek Fan wants to be able to run into until Ergon starts getting low, but that big proc. They're going to be able to get the double kill onto Ergon. Raven, who sees a low health Monkey King, but he also knows he's got the Jingu stacks. He's going to be able to heal up as he throws the nuke out onto Dubu. Heals a little bit more. The Rupture's gone, but Cuckoo's going to be able to get the call, and now Raven makes his commitment onto Ergon's life, almost finishing off with the ultimate, but they will be able to overwhelm him, eventually getting that wicked sick streak over to Cuckoo, and a lot of experience for Geek fam.
Notably, still no LTW, not involved whatsoever, still farming. That was a 4-on-5 scenario. Well done by Spirit there. I believe they come out of that 3-3. There was a buyback forced on Rubik, and then he died again. So Zephyr's game is going to be severely impacted. Now lowest net worth on his team. It was all about the Monkey King ult. You put it down on the objective, and all of a sudden Geek fam are forced to fight into it. That's exactly what you need. If that Rupture had gotten off, and then a Skewer was able to follow up from the mag, it would have almost certainly killed him right away. But luckily, that did not occur, and now you got a 2K lead on the game.
It is very nice that they have like a lot of answers to just standing in an area when they get ruptured.
And you kind of need that, right?
Yeah.
That's the downside of the Geek fan lineup is that they don't have, they want to be chasing you. They want to be getting the 1 kill and then moving for more.
Right.
If you fight them in a death ball of sorts, the only AoE you really fear is the taunt and the RP. The BKBs are going to be huge for Spirit once they can pick those up. Dubu dead.
Classic Dubu death as he sacrifices himself to be able to push in a wave. Okay. Eventually they will get this kill, but it's going to cost a little bit of mana from Team Spirit. Meanwhile, Carl, this is the second time that he's found Misha trying to farm up the mid lane because, as you said, who's going to be showing when you're making rotations like this? Well, Misha has to take it upon himself.
I actually don't mind what he's been doing. You're the least useful kill to give up to the enemy, and as you said, someone has to push lanes. If Nangrata and the Monkey King are going to continue to farm, it's just ILTW on lanes. And he can't play as aggressive as he'd like to because there's always the threat of a Rupture plus any ground stun, notably the Skewer from the mag or the taunt of the Axe. And you can see the heat map. He's effectively just playing jungle and lanes, no intention of getting aggressive, just wants to push lanes.
And as a result, he is second in net worth, just behind the Monkey King. So,
Went for the Echo Saber as well instead of the more typical Slark items first, just because he wants the HP pool.
Yeah.
If he goes for, like, there's no reason to buy the Diffusal straight off the bat because you're not actually going to attack enemy heroes. So get the farming item, get what might actually increase your survivability as well.
I think it was a game this morning. I think maybe Gunner against Void went the same build just because he was like, I need something to survive through this Chronosphere. Just want the HP.
Yeah, still relatively even game. Approaching 20 minutes, Runes and Outposts might have the first real contest of this game, but it looks like it'll be a repeat of the 10-minute mark where Dire goes bot, Radiant goes top, and everybody gets half.
I'm not sure if I'm super happy with that from Team Spirit. You know, I kind of feel like they're pretty strong right now. I want them to try and make that gamble of being able to control 2 outposts. You know, camp bottom lane and say, run at us, Geek fam, see what happens.
The huge benefit they're working with right now is the Silencer ultimate, and I think they can look to get aggressive every time it's off cooldown because you can just initiate with the Shaker and cover it with the Silencer ult. You're going to get the first kill, and then someone else can find another.
Geek fam, they're the ones who look for the fight right now. They're smoked up, running towards top, and Team Spirit, they have put themselves on the high ground. Will they see the smoke? They do. Ergon actually breaks some of the smoke, sees a lot of these heroes, and Geek fam, they may only be able to get Non-Grata, but Non-Grata actually managed to get a blink away. Ergon?
Yeah, they get out of here. That's the right call. Get the hell out of Dodge.
Oh, they actually global sounds to make sure that Non-Grata gets out, which I guess he is a core, so I kind of understand that, but it also spoils your team fight advantage you had.
And if you're Geek fam, you could even consider looking to Roshan. You're just afraid of the Monkey King ultimate now with no Silencer ulti active. Of course, the Shaker dunk could be a problem, but you secure a perimeter, you should be fine. And to your point, once that comes back up, I want Spirit to get aggressive. When the BKBs come out, your 5 position on Misha is suddenly useless instead of giving you a 5-second window to just win fights. And immediately, Geek fam, knowing there's no Silencer ult, will look to hunt. They're going to find one, maybe?
Yeah, they're running towards our Earthshaker. They really want that team fighting hero out of the way, and maybe that will open up what you're talking about, opportunities to be able to do something like Roche. Carl pushes forward, the RP going out on Misha. They are serious about getting whatever hero kills they can.
They didn't have the sentry right away. You saw Kay, he actually was attacking creeps that whole time to get the cleave damage.
Okay, you've gotten 2 hero kills. What are you going to do with that? Geek fam,
middle tower is under
they're gonna start running towards the bottom.
This is right, because you don't want to wait. Like, it might look like a squandering of an ultimate here and there, but in reality, you were gonna fight with Silencer ult down, and once it comes back up, you want to chill. Keep farming, get the BKBs. So just spend the ults, get the kills, and now you get a tower, and you can chill afterwards. You look at Spirit's lineup, another weakness, they don't really have much Roche taking ability. They can fight around it, but if you're Geek fam, you're going to just ignore that objective until you're in a much better position and you can comfortably take a team fight, specifically, again, after the BKBs. And whoa, ILTW, you just died to the...
That was a Blade Mail call.
Blade Mail.
It's that, you know, ILTW, it's one of those stats you're like, okay, you understand why you died there. You didn't probably expect the Blade Mail. You can't afford another death like that, though. Dubu.
I think it was more the Rubik Fisher. The benefit of the axe is that you can initiate, even if Dark Pack's already been, like, the latest frame queued, won't matter. You get the full taunt duration, the Pact will fade, and then Rubik's there with a lift and an increased stun duration Fisher. That's almost 7 to 8 seconds of full lockdown with just those 2 heroes. And yeah, there's just nothing you can do with Slark.
Well, now, as a result, our Slark falls behind both the Bloodseeker and the Magnus.
Yep.
It's kind of weird that we have both, like, this Monkey King and Bloodseeker, and because neither team is really trying to push the pace, both of them are actually scaling better than most mid-game heroes would expect.
The big thing for Geek fam is going to be never fighting inside the Monkey King ult. Spirit's strength right now is that Aragon is huge. As soon as he gets that Scotty, Geek fam have 3 melee cores, very difficult to play into them, specifically when the Wukongs is down.
Yeah. Okay, just a real fast initiation onto Carl, and they make sure, go ahead, throw out that Wukongs, just make sure that Carl's totally surrounded, they get all the damage out on him. He's too tanky of a hero to risk anything else.
Both big ults used. Geek fam, we're going to have like 30 to 40 second window where they're not playing against any ultimates of these 2 cores, could maybe look to do something.
And that's why Team Spirit are going to keep up this pace, right? They want to be able to go, okay, there are only 4 heroes up right now. They're going to fight us once Magnus is up, so let's catch another one. Let's get another kill. Let's turn that 2 kills into maybe a mid-tower.
That's exactly what they're hoping for.
Geek fam doing a good job playing the high ground at Fisher, starting things off, but Dubu's not going to be jumped on. The global silence going out, actually stopping that initiation from Cuckoo, and now he's stuck in no man's land. ILTW says thank you very much. Let's get some permanent agility into our hands while Non-Grata deals with the rupture nicely.
That's what
just
I'm talking
TPs
about.
away.
That's the silencer effect right there. You use it to cover your own initiation. They get 2 kills easily. Love that. They got to keep it up now. Looking to move into the pit.
Double damage makes this a Roche-taking lineup.
Yeah.
It wasn't before, but now it is. We'll see, though. We do have our Magnus coming back up here.
Still going to take a little time. Zephyr kills the courier and a ward.
Is it worth the risk, though, to Geek fam to try this fight? I'm not sure
You
if
can
it
poke
is.
at it a little bit. You know there's no Wukongs for a little, but it is sketch.
Okay, well, there's the RP on top of the blood
Hello.
right with the BKB activated. 2 of these heroes, ILTW is actually going to die. Skewer back in, but there's no follow-up stun from the Centaur because the Fisher
what
is
does
on top
that
of
do
the
to
Centaur
Centaur?
does manage to get him. And now ILTW down. Raven has free run to be able to run down Immersion as quick as possible on the right-hand side. Kuku's going to be able to grab Nisha as well. That's going to be 3 dead on the side of Team Spirit, all in exchange for a Rubik death. Immediately, the 2 supports will buy back from Team Spirit because they are saying we cannot afford Geek Fan to be able to get this. They've already blown so much, and we've got Carl surrounded with the Wukong's command once again set up with the stuns from Non-Grata. Geek Fam, they did get a lot of kills, but they could not feel too confident with Ergon still somewhere on the map.
That's very, very good for Spirit. They used 2 buybacks, but it was on the supports. Geek Fam popped theirs on Axe, and they're also going to lose the Roshan, it looks like.
They approach that, okay, Cuckoo, he's going to be able to get the call in with a Blade Mail, doing a lot of damage back to Ergon, but he's so tanky, he's actually going to start ice killing now, and he's going to be able to finish off that Roshan, pick up the Aegis, no problem, and Non-Grata goes to the back line. Hello, catches 2, Raven's going to be chasing away, okay, everyone's low enough, he's got a lot of movement speed, so he's fine, but at least they'll get Dubu. Great play by Non-Grata during that very, like that chaotic time of someone trying to take away Roshan, he finds the back line.
And you know the key to that fight, Cap, was that Immersion on his original death forced Raven's BKB. Raven has to trade his BKB for the CM kill. Immediately there's a buyback. If Raven has BKB there, he's just going to immediately run into the pit with the Axe Taunt. You probably kill the Monkey King there, or at the very least have a chance to steal the Aegis. Instead, you lose Cuckoo, you lose the Aegis. Aragon doesn't even die once. Now you're on the back foot, and this is the support buybacks, man. I love it. If you know there's going to be a fight, trade your life for something important.
And now Team Spirit, they are certainly strong enough to just challenge Geek Fam. Not necessarily because they're far up on net worth, because they're actually not that far ahead, but the Aegis and just the general peak that Ergon is at right now with level 20 plus Scotty.
Look at the craggy coat plus a sliver coming out.
Yeah, that's the Titan Sliver. Real nice for Slark as well as Monkey King.
Yeah, I want the craggy cloak on my Shaker for sure.
Yeah, that's going to make him super tanky. I think for now you give it to Monkey because he's so far ahead, just make him stronger. Later on you can give it to the Slark because it's base damage, which is then amped up by the fact that Slark steals away your stats, buffing his own base damage even more. It's just a vicious cycle.
And I like how they're itemizing. We discussed this in the previous game. We talked about how they don't have a hero that really wants to hard commit to a fight, but you look at the way they're itemizing. Satanic is the next item queued for both Monkey King and Slark.
Yeah.
They know that they need to be durable, and these items, they got the farming items first. You had a Midas and a Maelstrom. That allows them to keep scaling. Now it's just pure survivability, so that when they get into these fights, they can outlast Geek Fam's Rupture and the big AoEs and still have the ability to keep right-clicking.
Well, you saw there, Geek Fam, Magnus actually choosing for the level 20 talent the strength and not going for that skewer range despite the Rupture combo. We haven't seen that Rupture combo once. Okay, jump straight into them. Ergon with that Aegis is a brave man. And sure enough, this is looking like a fight that could be okay as the BKB activated allows Magnus to be able to get away. Carl's out.
You have one true initiator in Cuckoo, Mag more of a core in this game. So just jump him, he has no BKB, pop Silencer ulti. You immediately trade your 5 positions ult to ensure the game is 5-on-4. You know there's no buyback on the Axe, it's the right hero to be targeting.
But yeah, going back to it, we haven't seen a single Rupture Skewer combo.
Correct.
I feel like both of them have just been taking such a backseat to the game and not trying to be active playmakers.
We haven't really seen Raven in the game yet.
Yeah, Raven, well, he's going to be seen here trying to go on a Non-Grata, but BKB activated and turned around, but BKB is still activated by Raven. Should allow him to finish him off, except for he couldn't actually do it. I'm not sure why, but he doesn't commit for that kill. And now, well, Immersion, he's going to be skewered back in the Blood Right. Okay, they finally do manage to finish him off. Zephyr entering in with an Echo Slam that he stole of his own.
And now Cuckoo's TP and forwards might be able to find +1. No, instead gets baited by the illusion. Monkey King gonna hop out.
Oh, they got spider legs.
Yeah.
Good way to be able to find a Monkey King. Breaking some trees. LTW thought he found the initiation on Cuckoo.
That's still anybody's game. To your point, the big advantage is that no matter what happens in this game, it's not as if Lincoln's is a real item at the moment. So no one's going to be able to deal with the Rupture.
Yep.
I'd like to see a support pick up a Lotus Orb just so, you know, if you trade Rupture on Bloodseeker and one of your cores, you'll take that. Bloodseeker, far worse. It's standing still, dealing damage comparison to the Monkey King. Mindbreaker now on the Monkey King as well. Man, they're getting great items. And meanwhile, Dire has what? Like, they got, what was the one before Spider Legs, a repair kit? Whereas Spirit get Craggy Coat, Titan Sliver, and now, like, one of the best DPS items that neutrals can give.
I mean, don't be hating on Spider Legs, but I'll give you, a repair kit is probably not necessarily
Repair kit
what
is
they're looking
garbage. That's almost as bad as Greater Fairy Fire.
It's like one of those situations where you, it only feels good in a losing game, in which case you're probably still
You're
gonna
already
lose
losing,
anyway.
yeah.
It doesn't change your fate. Well, 30-minute bounty runes and outposts were split, so.
It's been a mere 10, 20, 30 minutes, all the same. 2 bounties, outposts going
That should help.
to either team. Vlad's now on Silencer. Get those auras. You know this is going to come down. One of the rare games where you can almost guarantee, based on the lineups, thanks to all the melee cores, you will at some point have a 5-on-5 brawl where everyone just starts slapping each other and one team wins.
And heroes like Slark, who already has an innate lifesteal talent, plus the Vlad's, he's actually going to be healing a lot.
Speaking of, they've done that in, I've seen some like UFC, CIS 5-on-5s, where it's literally 5 guys versus another 5 guys at once.
We should have that show.
Right? We would
I bet
probably
on
lose
us.
that one too.
Dude, we've got Lizard.
That's true.
Radiant's
We could literally just stand behind Lizard. He just tank everything, man.
He goes to the gym. He doesn't do Krav Maga.
Yeah, but no, he can tank everything. So he just stands at the front lines, then, you know, throw some punches at him, and then, you know, we just slide in the back, you know?
Could work.
2019. 31 minutes in, and it is indeed a very even game. That's what our panel said we were going to be seeing, and it's the first real even game that we've seen all day. Mindbreaker for the Bloodseeker. That's always one of those secret neutral items that could come in clutch, but maybe not because everyone has BKB.
Initiation is going to be critical here. Whoever, because both teams have huge tools to make the fight 4-on-5.
Yeah.
Spirit have jump, Geek Fam have jump. The Silencer ulti is no longer the save that it used to be because Geek Fam can just blacking bar, keep killing whoever they're on top of. And I think that they're the scariest because if they get one catch, it's very easy for them to find another. Spirit have to do a little more work to continue finding kills.
How do you itemize as a Bloodseeker from here on out? Like, he just picked up a Manta.
Yeah, Abyssal.
Like,
I like it. Mjolnir is not bad later on.
I mean, what is, like, he can Manta off the Global Silence without popping BKB? Is that what the thought process is?
Yeah. I like it, to be honest, because you also get rid of the CM slow, the Silencer Q, the last word. It's just nice.
Okay.
You don't want to get stuck in Monkey King ult, and you don't want to have to BKB. You saw in that Roche engagement how important Bloodseeker's BKB is. You don't want to have to waste that for a support again.
Okay. I can dig it.
It's still anybody's game, though. Again, it's just going to be who catches who first. Vision's going to play a huge role as this game continues. Both teams have a slight edge in the sense that Chen can plant creeps on high ground. Slark, of course, ensuring that his enemies have no vision of him if his ult is still active as he runs around and circles through the jungle.
Well, TW is probably feeling real good about his Midas pickup now. Ooh, a 2-man stun. Doesn't know it, though. And Carl may have just got a perfect initiation. A 2-man RP, but Nagrata is going to respond with the Echo Slam, but it's not doing quite enough. Urgon actually healing up pretty nicely. Does manage to get off the Wukong's command. And Geek Fam are saying, abort. We got to get out of this AoE. And sure enough, they will on the left-hand side. Nagrata is trying to stick it to Carl, but he will manage to skewer a decent distance away. But Monkey King is hunting. That's why the Earthshaker's trying to stay on top of this. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, we're going to see Misha die. Support, no big deal. Let's go back to Carl, who's still being chased out. Urgon's going to catch up to eventually Nagrata.
Got the blink, he's got the blink.
The cheeky handshake. Okay, do they have the follow-up blink? Nagrata going to spot him for a moment. Carl does have a skewer to the right-hand side. Can he TP out?
Oh, no.
Nope. Nagrata sees
No, your
him.
trees. He's got a Shadow Blade.
And they have no vision.
The rest of his team is here.
And now Cuckoo coming in for pretty quickly. Nagrata realizing that he chased way too far and the rest of his team abandoned him.
And it all starts because Geek Fam get the initiation. Sure, Monkey King was the one actually leaping forwards with the Fisher, but they were ready, and they immediately turned it around. That means the Monkey King ult and the BKB's got to be used defensively, and then the chasing power just isn't there. Geek Fam pick up both supports for free on the onset, and it gets way more difficult for Spirit to collect kills once they've already lost 2.
That was a Shadow Blade that was just picked up, right? Oh boy, what a big payout immediately.
It's about initiation and staying off map. The problem, one of the issues with all these neutral items is, of course, the cores have a much harder time carrying detection. They need some now.
Well, we're going to have some buybacks here as the Silencer's going to be TPing in. They do have a skewer away to the right-hand side. IL2W taking a lot of damage there from that Rupture, but enough to be able to shrug it off. Now Lifesteal really doing some dividends, but they have to chase for some of the backline heroes. That's where they're going to go for Misha, while Raven challenges ILTW with Blood right out. He's going to have to leap away from that one, while Ergon gets pulled back into it, turns and fights with the Lifesteal, but he's just overwhelmed by so many heroes. Immersion laying out the freezing field, but immediately chopped down quickly by Cuckoo, racing into Misha, and ILTW got caught. He just got spotted by a tree-dancing Rubik who lifted him up in the air, stopped that TP. IL2W could be a wipe. They're actually going to buy back for this one, but not Grana with the Echo Slam, but it's not enough damage. Raven is fine. He had his BKB ready to go. He's ready to fight through all of this. They can't do enough damage, and now they just fed back to back to back. Team Spirit, they're going to lose this fight in a massive, massive way as they got wiped not once, but twice with no buybacks left in the tank. Geek Fam, how much are you going to be able to take out of this? Tier 2, Tier 3, 2 lanes of racks?
Who knows, man? This is the staying power. You saw Spirit that got split, and Monkey King, with no ultimate, he's just isolated and immediately gets taken down. He lived for a while, but no one was in sight. They took that fight without Non-Grata. You can't win a fight without your Shaker.
Yeah. You needed the follow-up disables to get up. Like, you need Wukong's command, and you need the stuns to make sure they stay inside of it. And when Geek Fam just are able to either focus the Monkey King down or get out of the Wukong's command easily, you could see that, as you said, that staying power, especially Carl. I mean, he got kind of low, yeah, but he dished out so much damage. Unfortunately, Tier 2 still up in the mid lane, so Geek Fam are only going to be able to get the 2 lanes at top and bottom. But now, finally, that net worth has broken one direction.
It's just comes down to the support's usefulness. The issue with Spirit is that both of them are completely worthless against BKB and incredibly squishy. Geek Fam, you've got Zephyr, who has just had incredibly high impact in these fights. Stolen Fishers for pickoffs, the Tree Dance there to pick up bonus kills, and the Chen just walking around with a bunch of auras. You can see the win probability. Looked great for Spirit for a while, but since about 32 minutes, it's been all Geek Fam. 9 consecutive kills with no response.
Now we're just in a free fall. Cuckoo is going to get picked off here. Less BKB, 4 staff. Okay, immediately throw out the Global Silence. They need to maintain damage on him. Don't let him blink away. But Cuckoo jukes into the Roshan pit, blinks out, and now Team Spirit are left with nothing but sand in their hands.
Not even that, they're forced to retreat back to their side of the river. Bottom and top lane pushing in as they have lost racks and on either side, which makes this Roche engagement real tricky, because if you see creep waves in bottom as Geek Fam, you know that the 5 Team Spirit heroes are somewhere in the vicinity. You can play a little cautious, camp high grounds, ensure you don't make that critical error that would give away this game.
Well, we got some level 25s coming in. Those can be game changers, and we have the Empower buff up for the Magnus. On the other side, Team Spirit a level 23 on a Monkey King. If you can get to level 25 before the next fight, we have that gigantic command ring from the Wukongs. But can that fix all of their problems? Right now, they just can't seem to do enough damage to Geek Fam. No, running into that immediately, bouncing away because he was afraid off of that smoke break. Somebody was going to get found. They're going to lead off with a Blood Right, or Rupture rather, onto the Slark. But on the high ground means Geek Fam not down to tread those
Look at the base.
Yeah.
There's no need to get aggressive here as Geek Fam. You know what's up.
You can poke very lightly at Roshan. Not overcommitting too much. Just see if Team Spirit... Oh, nice call. Managed to pull the Monkey King down from that tree. The Blood Right going out, silencing him. for a little bit of time. He's holding onto his BKB while he can. BKB going out from Carl as he skewers away. So not really the situation they were hoping for there. And Ergon sees the opportunity, especially when Nagrata. 2 minutes to hit the 2-man Echo Slam. Ergon following that up, but no command ring just yet. They managed to get back to the shrine, healing up. Cuckoo back up to full, and Nagrata about to fall, but Ergon, they need to be able to protect him. As Raven's just tearing him apart. He gets off the command ring. Yes, a top from Cuckoo, not quite enough. Ergon healing through all of that. What? He just lived through it to manage to get off that one big nuke, staying inside his command ring as best as possible, but tossed over the side. Ergon still can't deal with Raven. He needs the help of ILTW, but he doesn't have any damage. This Raven Bloodseeker's just too much for them to handle. He's going to chase down ILTW. Zephyr in and out all over the trees, finds him with a Fade Bolt. 3 dead on the side of Team Spirit, and there goes Roshan and probably the game.
They didn't even touch the Crystal Maiden. The Blade Mail damage on the Nova and Raven's Mjolnir actually just killed him with AoE damage. and that's the end of your CM. Holy crap. I can't believe Aragon lived for so long, but the problem is that now you have all the survivability, sure, on the Slark and the Monkey King, because that was the weakness in the lineup, but now you have the lack of damage. A mag lineup never has these issues, especially when there's a Daedalus picked up. And this is looking like it might be the end of the road for our boys.
I have to say, every single one of these fights, I just don't really feel the presence of ILTW Slark, who got that early Midas, was able to farm for so long. Eul Scepter into a Skewer here. Well, first they're going to silence him to make sure at least Merchant is going to be dying here. And Carl is a little bit overextended, but he does have a cheese, and there's no way they can chain stun a 3,500 HP Magnus long enough to prevent him from using it. So he goes back up to full health. They're going to claim Megas here. 30 seconds to work with after that.
Middle barracks has fallen.
They're going to play it safe.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
And it means Team Spirit on the verge, on the brink of being dropped from this tournament. They're going to have to play against Megas, and now going to have to play in a 3 versus 5 as Geek Fam find the opening.
Raven TPs, gets the DD summoned back immediately by Dubu.
That's where he was going. I was surprised. I was like, oh, Geek Fam, surely just ended here, but Raven just wanted that a little bit of extra helping hand with the double damage. Just kind of poke at the Monkey King. Are you going to pop your BKB? No? Okay, we'll get a little damage on you. Meanwhile, finishing off the tier 4s. LTW coming forward. Immediately going to be ruptured up. Also called by the axe, pulling him away, but they do manage to get the 2-man Echo Slam once again. But do they have enough damage? The command ring. Oh, he actually gets pushed out of it immediately by the telekinesis from the Rubik. So there goes all your damage. That command ring is all important because you could see the Slark in the back line just can't even finish off a Chen. Sure, throw out an RP just for Ergon. That's it. That is the game, and that is it for Team Spirit as they are knocked out.
What a
by Geek Fam.
Geek Fam collected 20 kills. Spirit got 1. What was a close game turned into total domination, and they move into the playoffs. Well deserved. They looked great yesterday. Look even better today. Really